All right, Sudhir, appreciate you sharing those insights with us. Moving on now, at least 5 persons were injured as fresh tensions erupted in Bishnupur district on 21st November evening after a group of people displaced from areas in Churachandpur district attempted to march towards their abandoned villages. Meanwhile, during the tension, some police vehicles were also damaged when the displaced persons started pelting stones against police, firing of tear gas shells and mock bombs in order to disperse them. Alright, so we're now learning that at least 5 people have been injured. Now this comes as tensions have erupted in the Bishnupur district in Manipur. Meanwhile, my colleague Nibir Deka now joins me on the broadcast. We're now learning that at least 5 persons were injured as fresh tensions have erupted in the Bishnupur district. What more are you gathering? What more can you tell us?
Well, absolutely. In Bishnupur district, things turned tense yesterday night when police personnel along with the security forces had to fire in tear gas. This is due to the displaced people who are trying to go back to their own villages or house because of the protests that we have seen in the state of Manipur. And to control that crowd, tear gas were fired and 5 persons have been injured. And the police are trying its best to control or disperse the crowd. And so far things remain tense in Imphal.
All right, you just, I mean, from what you are learning, how long will it take for the situation to come back to normal if you're talking about the Bishnupur district in particular?
Well, if you see that the protests have been done due to the opposition towards the Shanghai festival, which is being celebrated in the state. And there has been a continuous discussions by the government with the protesters. However, the bigger question that they have been claiming is that they want to go back to their house. Amid the prevailing situation of a buffer zone in the state, it is very difficult to draw up a timeline as to when the protests are going to end. However, the crowds have been controlled by the security forces and they have done extensive work in the last 24 hours to disperse them. But the situation on ground is such that it is a tenseful situation.
All right. So, from what you're gathering from on the ground, is this situation perhaps in other areas in Manipur around Bishnupur calm, or are they also affected by these protests?
The entire Imphal Valley is affected because of their opposition towards the Shanghai festival. However, these are seen more in the border districts such as Bishnupur and other border districts because of the proximity towards the buffer zone, and the protesters have tried to break into the buffer zones and go to their own villages. Remember, since 2023, the buffer zone has separated both the Maite and the Kuki communities, and as a result of that, they have not been able to go home. Both the communities have suffered, and the current Shanghai festival has triggered protests among the public who are claiming that without them going back home, they will not accept any protests, and as a result of that, certain organizations have led the protest and public has also joined, which has led to this prevailing situation.
All right, Nibir, appreciate you sharing those insights with us. We're getting